This is a vocoder sound with drums played through the vocoder, and we're going to do this in the Radias, and we're going to use the R3 as a kickstart. The R3 is the Radias' smaller brother. You may say that two R3s actually make up the Radias with a bit of extra power added in, and the Radias also contains an electric drum machine, which you know and which we're going to use. Actually, I discovered this when taking my R3 with me on holiday and finding that it's a very nice machine. For one, you can take an external drum machine like my little Vocoder here and can put it just into the inputs, play along with it, but you can also put it through the vocoder, and this sounds like this. And so what I did was to take that program and convert it to the Radias, and there's a very nice Windows software, or actually Java software, which you can use. It's called Radias Librarian, and it's donationware, so you can use it without actually having to pay it for a while, but I urge you to pay for it. And once you've converted the R3 files, which you get from the R3 editor, you go to the Radias editor and load the program here. I'm just going to do that like that. It's called Pulse Coder. Pulse Voc, there it is. And then once I've transmitted it, you can see it's in the R3 now. So, is it really there? Let's have a look. Let's take the Vocoder input and put it into the drum machine. Let's hit output and put it into the vocoder input. I actually only need one because only one's programmed, and let's have a look. Play, although it's one octave lower. That's one of the things that the conversion program gets wrong. So when you go into edit mode and into timbre, you actually have to fix that. There's another thing that the program doesn't do. It converts my split. It doesn't convert my split correctly. So if you take an R3 split and want to have that to the Radias, one thing you've got to do is that you've got to set it to the global channel, and the other thing you have to do is that you have to adjust the keyboard zone settings, because of course the R3 doesn't have keyboard zones, so you've got to do that here. So once I've fixed that, hang on. Yeah, now we've got both sounds, but the thing about this setup is that I don't actually want to use my Volca-beats with the Radias, because it's got a very capable drum computer inside, so why not use that? And the good thing is that due to the internal bus, which is kind of a virtual rail, you can just use any program, any drum kit you use and feed it to the internal encoder. You've got to do one thing for that. First thing's of course that you have to activate the drum kit. I've got to drum timbre and did that, switch that to the fourth, taking the standard drum kit, and I'm going to the step sequencer now and switch it on so I can just program a drum kit now. Very simple, and for sakes of demonstration I'm just going to add something like this. Bass drum, and then we'll just take, let's say, a hi-hat. Oh, not a clap, so oh yeah, let's use the clap and go on the offbeat there. Something like that. Okay, fair enough. Back to page, and now the thing we have to change is to ensure that this drum program is actually playing to the vocoder. So we've got to do two things. First thing is that we've got to disable the actual main output. We're going to do this by setting this to int out. What that means is that the drum machine is now routed to the auxiliary outputs here. And the second thing is that we have to set the additional output to internal bus, and of course we have to take it away here now. So jump to the vocoder, which is on timbre 1, and once you are there, you see the page buttons change. You can go to this page, which determines what the vocoder uses as a modulation source. And now, of course, we don't want to use external input 2 because we don't want external input, but internal bus, left and right. This is where we put the drum machine. So let's have a look. Let's have a look what it sounds like when we do a really good drum pattern. And there's another thing I did here. I used just a bit of drums to feed through to the main output, so you can hear a bit of drums, and this underlines the rhythmic pattern. So I've got the rhythmic pattern all here now. Thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoy and come up with your brilliant timbres. And of course, the patch is available for download in the links.